Alrighty. Yo, what's goody is Bear in the building. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Queen Talk. If you are new here, welcome. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe button. Let us know what you think of this episode. Today's special guest, we got Rashad with us. Rashad, welcome. How you doing,
Thank you for
man?
having me. I'm good, man. What about you?
I'm blessed and highly favored. I'd say that for sure. A lot of shit's been going on, but you can't let it affect you mentally as much. I've grown to do better with that aspect. Just life happens, and we got to keep pushing. But you want to give the audience a little bit, let them know a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Rashad. My pronouns are he, him, his. I've been on team for about 4 years. I'm a drag king. Um, Performance name is Silky Findamore. That name was given to me by Ladies Man. Um,
Nice. And where you from?
from Wichita, Kansas.
Wichita, another Wichitan, guys. As you guys know, that is where I am from. I'm trying to get more people here from Wichita, just so that I can like start a community here. And I feel like a lot of the people that I have gotten from Wichita have been a part of like the drag community. So I feel like I need to enter that space a lot more than what I have been. When did you enter that community yourself?
The drag community. I met this drag king named Sexual Chocolate the Morning. He was the one that was like, "Come on, man, come try it out." So I did. That's what I met Lace Man, who's my drag dad. That gave me the name. I couldn't figure out a drag king name for me, so I was like, "Hey, Lace Man, I need help." So ever since I stuck with that, um, and then
Nice. How long has
I've
that been for
been
you?
me performing.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, well, I started out performing in school. I was in school. I performed downtown in Las Vegas.
That's where you first started, is in Las Vegas.
Yes.
That was your
Um,
first show was in Las Vegas. I feel like
well,
that's
my my first show was at Club Boomerang back then. It
oh,
was,
okay.
but when we started dancing, out dancing everywhere was the streets. You know, um, my brother, Fiction, he's a dancer. I don't say much about him, but he was on So You Think You Dance. He played in several movies. It's the new Step Up.
Oh, this is your blood brother?
Yes, yes.
Okay, nice. So did he like take you out to Las Vegas and be like, "Hey, you need to be in the Vegas scene and dancing," or
No, at that time I was living in Vegas with my mom,
okay.
who's who's married. Back in high school, I moved to Wichita, back to Wichita, because my dad, who's no longer around anymore. He was a truck driver, but yeah, I graduated from Wichita Northwest, and then I just been here, and then
Nice. North so we're skipping out on years here. So what year was it when you graduated? What year did you graduate?
2012,
2012. Okay.
2012.
So you're 30. You just turned 30?
I'm 32.
Oh, you're
I
32?
just turned 32 in September.
Okay. And so when you grew up, did you grew up in Vegas and then you moved to Wichita, or where was your upbringing at?
Um, I'm a military kid, so I moved around a lot. I really
Okay.
didn't stay in one place.
Okay. How was that like for you? Like, was your parents together during your upbringing? Were they separate?
Um, they were separate. Um,
Okay. And you said you're a military and your mom's in the military. Were you ever a part of the military yourself? Like,
No, I am currently working on the National Guard at the moment.
okay, okay, nice. Is that like the branch that your family members are a part of, or were you something different?
I'm something different. My family is part of mm, Army, Air Force, uh, Marine.
Cool. And so when you moved to Wichita, did you move by yourself or were you with people or did you move with your mom and you said your dad was here? Did you move
My
in
dad
with your
was
dad?
already my dad was already in Wichita, and I'm living with my dad. And I
And you
just
mentioned that your
finished.
dad's not around anymore. Is that due to
That's
Pat?
correct. My dad was the last one on his side of the family. Um, so
So he passed?
it's my
Okay. I'm
dad's
sorry.
from Salina, Kansas. His
Okay.
wish was to be next to his parents. So
Okay. So did your dad was your dad alive during the time of like your transition, your coming out or any of that or was this all after your father passing?
um, my dad was alive towards the beginning of my transitioning. Um,
Okay. And how was that for your family? Like, what was that reaction when you told them?
my dad really didn't care too much. I could talk to my dad more than I can my mom. Actually, my mom's like she accepts it, but she don't. Um,
What do you mean by that?
uh, she calls me her little girl, which I'm not her little girl anymore. So, and then she calls me by my dad name, and I don't have that anymore. So, I mean, I'll still answer by it because it's something they used to, but
So
I don't really.
from that sound of it, it sounds like she doesn't accept it. So what is her ways of showing that she does accept it?
I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. So you said you've been on T for 4 years now.
mhm.
What got you to the point to where you're like, okay, I have to make this transition. Like this is what I need for myself. What got you to that point?
um, I always knew that I was a male. My wife was accept me as a male before my transitioning. So she would always introduce to everybody, oh, this is my husband, this is my boyfriend, this is, you know. So
Hmm.
it's something that she's used to.
So she's used to it, but like, when was it before your wife that you knew? Was it like while you were with your wife? Like when did let's start from the beginning. Like when did you identify as a queer person?
So 19,
Okay, so fresh
when
out
I
of high
was 19.
school.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you identify in the community when you first was like, this is me?
Well,
It,
I just said it was me. I mean, I can't really um, describe how it was. I mean, I just it's me.
who'd
It's
you
my comfort.
tell? Who'd you tell? What was the scene, the setup?
Um, I really didn't tell anybody. Everybody knew. Um, my mom couldn't really figure it out, but everybody else knew. So I really didn't have to tell anybody.
So when did you have a conversation with your mother about it?
Last year, actually.
That
Um,
was the first time you had a conversation with her?
yeah, it
And what
was
did that
hard.
conversation, what that
It
look
didn't go
like?
too well. It didn't go too well.
Well, you've been on T for the last 4 years. So 3 years into T is when you're like, okay, mom, we need to sit down and have this conversation. why did you want to sit down and have that conversation with her then?
Um, because I didn't feel like how she was gonna take it if I told her at the beginning that I was starting. Um, I mean, till this day, it still bothers me
What bothers you?
how she's taking it. I'm not really. I talk to my mom, but I'm not close. If you see what I'm saying. Um,
Okay. Okay. So before you transitioned, you have two boys, right? 11 and
mhm.
13. So prior to this, when you came out at 19, did you come out as like you were bisexual? Did you come out as I'm pansexual? Like what how did you identify when you first first came out?
Um, when I first came out as transitioning,
No,
uh,
just being a part of the queer community.
okay, so when I first came out, I came out as a lesbian, being a stud. Um, that didn't really work. I tried that for a couple of years or so. That didn't really work. So I was like, hey, transitioning, this is who I really am. So I'm gonna be proud of who I really am.
So you were just doing like you didn't like physically transition, you were just like the way you introduce yourself and things like that. That's how you transition.
Mm-hmm.
So when were you in a relationship when you had your kids or were you not?
Um, when I had my kids, I was not. Um,
So how did that come
so
about? Were you just out here wilding? Like what?
no, so we're gonna go back to my kids. The way I met my kids is is when I was working at Burger King. So uh, I seen this kid, me being nice. I give them food or whatever. At that time, he had he had a dad, but that's not really his dad. See what I'm saying? So I was working at Burger King. Um, his mom was working at Burger King. I guess one day he went home and told his mom. He was like, "Hey," at that time I was Mr. Rashad to him. So he was like, "Mom, I want Mr. Rashad to be my dad." Um, so he came and asked me, and I say, "Yeah, I'll be your dad." The he was 11 at the time. Um, so after that, I just been his dad. He wants my last name. I gave it to him. This brother who's 11, um, I added him, and they
So
both got my
you
last name.
are
Um,
you with their mother or you just randomly was like I'm friends with this woman and her two kids want me to be in their life, so I'm gonna put my name on the birth certificate.
I am so I'm married. I have a wife, and then I have a sister wife, which is their mother. So yes, I'm with their mother.
Oh, you get down like that.
Yes, yes,
Oh, wait a second, Rashad.
yes,
Rashad.
yes.
I didn't know that. Wait, pause. We finally getting into something now, Rashad. We finally getting into something. So you got two women. You got two women.
I do.
Okay, how do you balance that? How is that? Like, pause. Because let me rewind a little bit because my brain's moving a little ahead. That okay, Rashad, you leaving a lot of shit out, man. Okay, so how who? Oh my gosh! So you identify as polyamorous then? Is that how you identify?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. And when did you start identifying like that?
I've been like that for about 2 or 3 years now. We're gonna go with 2 years. Um,
2 years. Okay. And like what made you like were you with someone you're like, "Oh, I like this person too. Like let me do it both." Like what happened?
um, I had a wife. Yes, I was with someone. My wife actually agrees to it, so we're both with the same person. Um,
Okay. So you're with your wife and you working at Burger King and you got a work wife and you go home and you tell your wife, "Hey, there's this girl," and is that how it came about or what?
um, yeah, yeah. Um,
So your
that's
first
when that was when I was working at Burger King, but I'm not at Burger King anymore. But yes, yes, and we've been together ever since. Um,
So do you guys live together or are you guys like this is like you guys live in separate households?
um, my kids and their mom live together, and then you got me and my wife and my mother-in-law. Um, we actually live with my mother-in-law. Um,
Okay. Rashad, I gotta ask this question. Are your partners women of color?
yes,
They are? Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
How does the mother-in-law feel? Oh my god, how's your mother-in-law feel about this? Is she like cool
Um,
with it? Does she like know about it? Is this a secret?
uh, no, it's not a secret. She's gonna say, do what makes you happy. So
Okay.
whatever.
Okay. So how do you guys balance this lifestyle that you live? With them being away, not living in the same household, how do you guys balance that?
Um, it's family, so I usually take everybody out, including the kids. Um, sometimes it'll be me, and it'll be adult time. Sometimes,
That's what y'all
uh,
call it, adult time, to where it's you and the two
I
wives.
yes, adult time. Yes, yes, yes.
How do the kids call your other wife mom too, or do you guys keep it separate? Do you guys let the kids know what's going on, or no?
Um, to tell the difference between both of their moms, my wife is mama. Their mom is mom or mommy. Um, I'm dad or daddy. So
Is this as far as it's gonna go, like, or have you guys talked about like adding more people into this relationship?
no, no, this is it right here.
This is it.
This is it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I've heard about it, I've seen it, but you were the first person on my podcast to actually be in like a three-person relationship. So like I'm sorry if I'm coming off like as really like giddy or whatever, but like this is the first for Queen Talk podcast. So I'm just like curious with it, like, do you have other family members or friends that do not approve of this like lifestyle, or like how do you deal with like the negative aspects that may come with it, or what do those negative aspects even look like for you guys,
um,
if there is any?
my mom's side really don't care for it. Uh, my wife's family, they consider me family. So it's like, hey, you gonna do what you want to do. I accept it, you know.
Yeah.
So
And does is the other woman, the mommy, is she your wife too? Are you guys like legally married?
no,
Okay. Okay.
um, she wants to be a sister wife. So we're gonna say she's a sister wife. But
What
no.
does a sister wife entail? Like, is that just saying you're a sister wife, or is there paperwork with sister wives, or
Um,
for you, just your experience? Are you guys just doing it off a word? You're my sister wife, Are you guys gonna do paperwork? Is sister wife or
We're not. We haven't got that far of doing the paperwork. Um,
okay? Have you talked about it though?
yeah, we talk about it a lot. She
Yeah.
just brings up, I want to be the sister wife. So,
Okay. Okay. Now, these how do you balance it all, Rashad? How do you balance like I feel like do they fight for your time at all? Do are you like is it pretty everyone's like kumbaya? It's like pretty peaceful?
everyone's peaceful. Nobody's fighting for my time. Um, she knows that I'm married, so so it's like marriage first, um, wife first, and then we all go do something.
Okay, so there's tears to it. There's
Yeah,
tears to it.
yeah,
So wifey knows she's number one.
yeah.
And then okay, how do the sister wife and the wife do they like have a relationship within themselves?
They do. Um,
Okay. Do
I
you
be
get
at work.
jealous?
No,
Okay.
I'll be at work most of the time, so they're gonna have their little own thing.
Okay. All right, Rashad, you out here living it, living it. This is a lot of people's dream to have two women. I mean, some people could think that's too much, but so with the kids in the situation, they just this is a norm to them. They don't have you guys had like what conversations have you had with the kids to be like this is anything or you guys just
No,
like
they love it.
okay, but have you had a conversation with them? Like, what do they know? Like that you guys just all hang out? Like that's all they know? Like, there been like a sit down conversation? Like, look, Rashad, your dad. This is his what? Like, have you guys even had a conversation? They're 13, 13 and 11. Like, they ain't dumb. Like,
Right, right.
I feel like
Um,
they're at an age to where they're if they didn't know, they're starting to figure it out.
um, yeah, they know, they understand. My 13-year-old's an ear hustler, so he pays attention and listens to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my 11-year-old, he's trying to get him to understand. It's not quite there yet.
What do you do to try to get him to understand?
Um, we try to break it down to him to get him to understand. This is this. This is that. Um, this is what we're doing.
And do you guys
Stuff
all live
like
in the
that.
same town?
Yes, I'm currently living in Hutchinson, Kansas. Um, we all in the same town.
Okay. What why are you in Hutchinson? I mean, no offense. I'm just like
Okay,
Wichita's bad enough.
um, so we're gonna go back. At that time, my drag cousin, cousins, um, Jesse and Sky, um, they were the store managers for Burger King. Um, so back in
Fucking
Wichita.
Burger King. You like to have it your way, Rashad. Oh, that shit's good. Oh my gosh. That
I'll
was
take that. Back in Wichita, I've been at McDonald's on East Kellogg for 5 years. Okay. Um, I put in my 2 weeks notice to come to Hutch. My cousins were like, "Hey, we need help. Can you come help me?" I was like, "That involves me moving to Hutch." Find out at that time they moved back to Topeka.
so they
So
got your ass to Hutchinson for them to move back to Topeka?
yeah, yeah,
And you just
right.
stayed?
I just stayed. As you see, I'm in school, uh, so
And you said you're going to school to do like the broadcasting, podcast, and all that stuff too, right?
Yes, that's auto production, audio production,
Audio production.
audio
Okay.
production.
That's
Um,
nice.
I'm also doing the class for recording studio music. It's a new class they just put in. Um,
Okay, yeah, you said you were going to school studying music, right? Like that's what
mhm.
the main goal is. Are you trying to be like a musician? Like, are you trying to be like an artist, like a rapper? What are you trying to do with that?
um, yes, I'm trying to produce music. I'm trying to get music out there myself. Um, I actually made music back then. My voice is not my voice anymore. Uh, but yeah. Um, so I'm a jack of all trades: art,
Okay.
music, dancing.
Hmm. Nice. And you mentioned your voice isn't the same as it was. Like you said you've been on T for 4 years. What
Yes.
has that experience been like for you? Was it easy for you to get um, into the transition and start the process, or was it hard for you?
Um, I would say I would say it was easy. Um,
How did you go about it for your route? Like, what steps did you take? Someone that
um,
may be interested in doing the transition themselves, like, what route did you take so they may know to take the same route?
um, I went to a doctor there in Wichita. Um, it's called M-Care Healthcare. Uh, they got me started on my hormones, and um, then from there, it's just I've been at it. Um,
Was it expensive for you? Is it
um,
expensive for you? You're still doing it. Is it expensive?
um, Without insurance, it's about 100 and something for the medicine itself. Um,
A month or a week or a day?
um,
What do
it
you
depends.
pay?
Well, I pay nothing
Oh,
with
nice.
insurance. My insurance pays for it. But if you don't
Okay.
have insurance, it's 100 and something.
Okay,
Um,
nice. And do you get a shot weekly? Do you get your shot monthly? How do you do it?
um, I get it every week. On Thursday, which will I'll be due for a shot tomorrow.
And how has
So
that been for you? Like getting shots weekly? How's that been?
um, it's been all right. Except for the being so hot a lot.
It it
Um,
makes you hot, the shot does?
yes,
Does it make you hot for like the first day or just like for a couple hours or
all day, every day.
even
Um,
even if year into four it's still doing that to your body? Like just making you really hot all the time?
yes, you can. Even when it's cold, I'm hot. Um, I couldn't even stay underneath the covers. So yeah.
Is there any other like effects that you would say like that it has on your body
The
besides, like
moods,
the moods? Yeah.
moods. Um, your moods could change and you don't even know why.
So when you're on, like, is there a point to where like you're gonna stop taking the T shot, or do you feel like you'll just continue to this as a weekly thing for the rest of your life?
Um, I'll continue it for the rest of my life.
And from like what you've been told about it,
Hmm.
are the mood swings gonna continue, or is there a point to where it's like, okay, my body's finally adjusting to it, or is it just like gonna be constant up and down mood swings? Did they tell you?
Um, you're gonna have up and down moods.
Yeah.
Um, that's gonna be there. It's not gonna go away. Um,
Yeah, and
unless
I
you could
guess I'd
control your moods. Some people can.
yeah, I guess with it being like constantly hormonal, like in
Mm.
what ways do you feel like it's affected your body besides like it getting hot um with like when did you stop having periods? Like was it like a year in, okay, or was it like a month in? Your body's like physically changing in that aspect, or how long did it take for you?
Um, it was. I would say it was uh, a month in.
What has been like the best part about transitioning? Like for you personally, like what's been like this is the best part of this?
Um, happiness,
Yeah.
happiness.
Now, in your jobs, like have you had any complications or like negative encounters being a trans man?
Um, no, I mean some places that could be negative. It depends on the environment, but I haven't had that since then. So no.
That's good. And do you feel like when you go out with like your two wives, do you feel like you get like negative feedback, or is it like known? Would people know that you guys are all three together if they didn't know?
um, no, not really.
That's good. I mean, that's well, not that they wouldn't know, but just like that you don't get any negative, that you haven't had anything like come up. So that's a that's good because I mean, like I feel like you hear of these situations like work environments that may happen with like transitioning and stuff. So that's good that you haven't had anything come up as of right now. Do you feel like with the I feel like more and more we're hearing news just like about the transgender community, especially with like elections coming up. Do you feel like you've seen or heard any negative comments in that way than any more than you have in the past?
um, no, not really. Besides the 2025 project, they don't know if that's going to cure or not. But
Yeah,
other than that, um, not really.
yeah. Do you get misgendered a lot, or besides from your mother, like in general, do you feel like people misgender you, or is it no? They I don't know.
Um, I can understand if you're getting used to the new gender, um, then it's okay. I'll let it slide. But if you already know and I already told you about it, then we're gonna have problems.
Yeah,
Um, but other than that, no.
well, that's good. I have you like found a community within like for yourself, like your friends community, since you don't your family's not really accepting, do you have great found family?
Um, yes, I have. Um, believe it or not, uh, I was watching one of your videos. You just interview I rocks the pennies. He's my drag brother.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I
I said there's a few of the people in like the drag community here in Wichita that I've interviewed, and
yeah.
I've realized like I said in the beginning, I need to tap into that space a lot more, just because I feel like that's it's a good way to meet and connect with a lot of people in the queer community because
Mhm.
it's the one space that we do have that's known that's ours. So It's
Yeah.
pretty dope. Uh, yeah, Avery, he's pretty dope. It was just, I had just met him like probably 2 weeks prior to interviewing him, and I was like, oh yeah. And
Right.
I haven't seen you at any drag shows though. Like since I've like been going, are you? When's your next show coming up? Do you have anything planned or?
I do. I do. I actually have a. I have two shows in October. Um, October 18th, I have a show in Newton, Kansas, at Butler Community College. They asked me to do one of their shows to be in it. Um, I have a show at XY on the 20th. It's a Halloween theme. Uh, so,
I will. I'll have to check in on that. The 20th show. That's a Sunday, right? Sunday evening.
yes.
Man, that's the thing about y'all and these shows. Why is it always on a Sunday at 9? You don't ever start at 9, 10 p.m. show. Like, I feel like the Thursday, okay, I get it. But the
Right.
Sunday, like, it'd be
man, you,
wild.
man, you know people go on drag time. We call it
Yeah.
drag time.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. You guys go on a Sunday. I'm like, man, Monday be the worst day to get up and go to work. But y'all want to stay out till 12, 1 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday.
um,
I realized I told my girl, I was like, I need to step into these spaces more, but the time, it just ain't aligning with my lifestyle. Like, that's just, I might make it to like half the show on a Sunday, but even staying up till 9, 10 o'clock on a Sunday, man, I'm just like, wow.
right.
I'm getting up there. I am
Um,
getting up there.
I actually been all over Kansas for shows. I've been to Junction City. I've been to Lawrence, Nova Kane, the morning. He's also my drag brother. He hosts a show. Um,
Yeah, I
I've been
gotta get them
in
on here.
I've been in Salina for a prize show. Uh, um, I've been around Wichita. At that time, we had Boomerang. That's when I first started my drag. That was on my home bar. I know back then they had fantasies. I never really went to fantasies, but I heard so much about it. Um,
Yeah,
what
it's
else?
that's dope that you've like traveled the world and done this though. Like, do you feel like eventually you'll want to do this full time, or do you just see this right now as just like being a hobby? This is just what you love to do.
Uh, I would say full time. Right now, my goal is to get out to all over the U.S. Um, I've been in Missouri. I've been in Kansas City and Springfield, Missouri. Uh, I am now working on Oklahoma. I've been in Kansas City, Oklahoma. Um, I've been in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I am now going back to Tulsa in March for a show. Um,
Nice, nice. So you're getting out here. You're getting out there.
I'm getting out there.
You mentioned your wife. Your wife seems very supportive, I must say, if she has you with an like you with another woman. But what ways does your wife support your drag lifestyle? Or do you call it drag for yourself since like you're not I don't like what do you still do you still call it that? Like drag king queen for yourself, or do you call it something else now that you transition?
Um, I call it drag king. Um,
Drag.
Only difference is I'm a trans drag king.
Okay,
So
gotcha. How
there's
has your
that.
wife been supportive with that?
Um, well, she's been very supportive actually. I met my wife when she was 15. I was 18 at the time. We were in high school. Um,
So y'all been together for a while then.
yeah, 11 11 is when we've been together. Um, got married. We've been married for about 2 years. Um,
Were you
and
guys together that whole time?
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. High school sweethearts.
Okay, nice. Northwest. Y'all met at Northwest?
Yes, yes.
Hmm. Northwest. That yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Nice. That's not a bad school. That's like one of the better schools here in Wichita.
yes.
How was it like in high school? Like where you guys were obviously out and well you didn't say you said you came out at 19, but like was the school pretty supportive of your guys's and like relationship and stuff?
Yes, most
That's good.
definitely.
That's good.
Um, especially her teachers. They would do like an event where you buy a rose and you give it to that person. Their teachers knew who it was from, so she was happy
That's
about that. Mm,
that's dope. That's dope.
but yeah.
High school sweethearts, you guys are still together now. Very supportive of one another.
Mm.
Where do you see um life going for you guys? You guys added
Um,
another partner, so no more partners. Do you and your wife want kids?
um, my wife wants kids. The problem with that is she can't have kids. Um,
Mm,
and that's fine. I accept that. She wants to adopt. Um, that also costs money. So maybe eventually we'll adopt a kid for me and her. Um, but it's been a ride. I mean,
yeah, it sure has. I mean, Rashad, have it your way. And
I'm gonna make a business, Rashad. Have it your way.
yeah, I mean, definitely, Rashad. Like this conversation, it's been an interesting one. We started off really slow.
Yeah.
You're hard to nudge, but eventually we got some good shit out of this. You know what I mean? Like you're interesting, so I appreciate you opening up and being vulnerable about that situation and honest.
No problem.
What would you like to leave the audience with today?
Um, I mean, I would like to leave the audience, just be you. If there's teenagers out there that's transitioning, be you. Don't let nobody tell you you can't be you. Don't let nobody tell you you can't do what you love to do. You know, your happiest is the key. You being happy. You
Yeah.
know,
I
so.
love it. Your happiness is definitely the key.
Mm-hmm.
Rashad, thank you so much again for being a part of Queen Talk and letting us in your world and sharing your story. Now that your wife or I know there are people of color, I got to get them on here as well because I'm trying to see something, you know. So you let them know, fill out the form as well. We gotta get you all three on here and get a good conversation going.
We'll
Um,
do that. We'll do that.
yeah, I appreciate it. You taking the time out of your day to be on here for real. You guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of Queen Talk. If you guys are interested, got questions like me, I still have questions trolling in my head. But make sure you guys ask them below and let us know what you think of this episode. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in to another episode. You guys, special news. Queen Talk is going to be hosting the very first event. We got a QueersGiving coming up on November 24th from 12 to 4. Again, that's November 24th. Make sure to save your calendars because it's going to be nice. It's going to be a nice little Thanksgiving lunch. So tickets will be available soon. My online store will be available. So that's where you guys can purchase tickets. It's going to be a great time. But as always, you guys, family, friends, strangers, love. Be nice.